guys, it's Hannah. This is Bookworms Talk, and I did some damage at the bookstore. So this is an old-fashioned book haul. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I shopped Amazon, I shopped Barnes & Noble, did the whole 9 yards. So let's just start really quickly because I have a lot of things. So I fell in love with Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. The first book of hers I read, and I don't know if I featured this in another haul, I don't think I have, is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I loved this so much and her writing style so much that I went out and I bought every single one of her books. Every one of them. So appropriately, I'm mentioning this one first. I've mentioned this in the last favorite, so I'm not going to give a summary on this, or wait, no. Favorites before last, so I'm not going to give a summary on this, but you can check out that video if you're curious. I just don't want to be super repetitive for those of you who watch all my videos. Where am I going to put? I'm going to put you up here. So the next book by Taylor Jenkins Reid that I bought is Forever Interrupted. Literally haven't even read the summaries. I just went and I found everything that she ever wrote and I put it on my cart. So I'm going to read a little blurb from this, and the first sentence made me so excited already. Okay. Have you ever heard of supernovas? They shine brighter than anything else in the sky, and they fade out really quickly. A short burst of extraordinary energy. I like to think you and Ben were like that in that short time. You had more passion than some people have in a lifetime. That wasn't the summary, that was just a little thing from the text to give you a little idea of her writing style. Elsie Porter is an average 20-something, and yet what happens to her is anything but ordinary. On a rainy New Year's Day, she heads out to pick up some pizza for one. She isn't expecting to see anyone else in the shop, much less the adorable and charming Ben Ross. Their chemistry is instant and electric. Ben cannot wait 24 hours before asking to see her again. Within weeks, the two are head over heels in love. By May, they've eloped. Spoiler alert. Only 9 days later, Ben is out by Oh my god! Why did I read that? Spoilers! So many spoilers! I don't even want to read that to you guys. Don't read the back! She has a theme in her novels. She has a theme. No, I'm not gonna finish reading it. Sounds super interesting. Don't read the back. Don't read the back. Spoilers. Spoilers. The next one I have is After I Do. And I think the cover to that is very I can't think of the name. It's a style. It's a style. I just don't know. So apparently it is a breathtaking novel about modern marriage, the depths of family ties, and the year that one remarkable heroine spends exploring both. When Lauren and Ryan's marriage reaches the breaking point, they come up with an unconventional plan. They decide to take a year off in the hope of finding a new way to fall in love again. 1 year apart, and only one rule: they cannot contact each other. Aside from that, anything goes. Lauren embarks on a journey of self-discovery, quickly finding that her friends and family have their own ideas about the meaning of marriage. These influences, as well as her own healing process and the challenges of living apart from Ryan, begin to change Lauren's ideas about monogamy and marriage. She starts to question, when you can have romance without fidelity and commitment without marriage. Did I say that right? I think I did. When love and lust are no longer tied together, what do you value? What are you willing to fight for? This is a love story about what happens when love fades. It's about staying in love, seizing love, forsaking love, and committing to love with everything you've got. And above all, After I Do is a story of a couple caught up in an old game and searching for a new road to happily ever after. This seems like it's going to be very interesting. I feel like it's going to question the morals of the reader. And again, it's playing with the what you traditionally think is right, traditionally think is wrong, and then what you actually feel. And I think it's going to maybe surprise some people with how they believe in situations like this. I kind of know already what I believe, and separated from the traditional way of what is right and wrong. I kind of have my opinion on that already, but I'm still very interested. And yeah, I think that's going to create some really good questions. This next book this is from my film class. This is American Politics in Hollywood Film, the 2nd edition by Ian Scott. Woo! Oh, I need to buy that one book already. Okay, I bought a lot of school books. I have a film minor, an English minor, and an art history minor, and my major is called liberal studies. That is a little thing for you. So that is a random book that was in my stack. Alright, this next one is something I mentioned a couple months back in a new in books video. By the way, I'm not filming one for September because I'm honestly just not excited about any books in September, and I don't want to make a video of books that I'm kind of just about. So I'm just skipping it for this month. I will be back on it though. I don't know. Something about it, the front of it made me think poetry. That was enough to get me to want to read it. Alright, summary. This I think I remember being a suspenseful thriller kind of thing. First sentence, suspenseful. Okay, I did remember right. In this deeply suspenseful and irresistibly unnerving debut novel, a man and his girlfriend are on their way to a secluded farm, When the two take an unexpected detour, she is left wondering if there is any escape at all. What follows is a twisted unraveling that will haunt you that will haunt you long after the last page is turned. It is a smart, suspenseful, and intense literary thriller. They kind of already said that. I get the job. Jive. Why was that so hard to say? The stack is getting precariously large. This next one was a gift from Mary. Okay. It is called Pretty Baby by Mary Kupika. I like that name. It's fun to say. All right. Summary time. This is another thriller, by the way. A chance encounter sparks an unrelenting web of lies in the stunning new psychological thriller from a national best-selling author. I feel like I've read the summary to this. I'm starting to second guess whether I've hauled this or not. Have I just filmed a haul and forgot that I filmed a haul and then deleted the footage? I think I might have deleted the footage. That's why this feels familiar. All right, summary for this. She sees a teenage girl on a train platform, standing in the pouring rain, clutching an infant in her arms. She boards the train and is whisked away, but she can't get the girl out of her head. Heidi Wood has always been a charitable woman. She works for a nonprofit, takes in stray cats. Still, her husband and daughter are horrified when Heidi returns home one day with a young woman named Willow and her 4-month-old baby in tow. Disheveled and apparently homeless, this girl could be a criminal or worse. But despite her family's objections, Heidi invites Willow and the baby to take refuge in their home. Heidi spends the next few days helping Willow get back on her feet, but as clues into Willow's past begin to surface, Heidi is forced to decide how far she's willing to go to help a stranger. What starts as an act of kindness quickly spirals into a story far more twisted than anyone could have anticipated. Doesn't that sound interesting? I think that sounds incredibly interesting. All right, this next one is one that everyone I'm sure is well, duh, Hannah bought this book. Of course Hannah bought this book. And it is Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino. I am just loving this whole thing. I think it's just a sweet, simple cover. She does sweet, simple stuff. I don't even know if she has a hand in picking the covers, but whoever does a good job. When a best-selling novel from a mysterious author, Jay Colby, becomes a literary event of the year, Emmeline reads it reluctantly. As an adjunct writing instructor at UC San Diego with her own stalled literary career and a bumpy long-term relationship, Emmeline isn't thrilled to celebrate the accomplishments of a young and gifted writer. Yet, from the very first page, Emmeline is entranced in a story of Emerson and Jackson, two childhood best friends who fall in love and dream of a better life beyond the long dirt road that winds through their impoverished town in rural Ohio. That's because this novel is patterned on Emmeline's own dark and desperate childhood, which means that Jay Colby must be Jace, the best friend and first love that she hasn't seen in over a decade. Now, far from being flattered that he wrote the novel from her perspective, Emmeline is furious that he co-opted her painful past and took some dramatic creative liberties with the ending. The only way she can put her mind at ease is to find and confront Jay Colby, but she's not quite prepared to learn the truth behind the fiction. I just love Renee's writing, and she's one of the sweetest women ever. Love her as a person. I have multiple copies of all of her books. I feel like I love supporting her. Very excited to get to read that. Not to get my hands on it. My hands are on. I have it. It's in my lap currently. This next one is a totally random weird one, but maybe if you're familiar with the podcast, it'll be exciting to you. I actually did not listen to the podcast, but I've read blurbs from it and dialogue pieces, and that was enough to get me to say, yep, I'm excited. And it is Welcome to Night Vale by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Canner. I always struggle when people co-write things. Anyway, isn't the cover really cool? I dig it. I really dig it. And then the inside also must show because, isn't that cool? I think that's so cool. The writing style to this itself is really what sold me. The story doesn't really seem interesting, but you know what? The writing of it sounds really interesting, and that's what makes me want to read things. So I'm going to read just a little bit. Welcome to Night Vale, a friendly desert community somewhere in the American Southwest where the sun is hot, the moon is beautiful, and mysterious lights pass overhead while its citizens pretend to sleep. It's a town like any town, with a city hall, a bowling alley, a diner, supermarket, and a community radio station reporting all the news that's allowed to be heard. Okay, so that's a little bit. Doesn't really sound interesting, but yet I was still I know that I like the style and the way that they spoke on the podcast, and so I wanted to give it a chance still. So I'm going to read you the little part that sold me. Okay, so someone's in a pawn shop, and it's talking about how everything is super routine, to a T, kind of Stepford style routine. You will lay the item on the counter, and Jackie will consider it. Jackie will have her feet up on the counter. She will lean back. $11, she will say. She will always say $11. You will not respond. You are ultimately unnecessary to the process. You are ultimately unnecessary. No, no, she will say, waving her hand. She will name her actual price. Usually it is money. Sometimes it is other things. Sometimes it is dreams, experiences, visions. Then you will die, but only for a little while. The item will be given a price tag, $11. Everything in the pawn shop is that price, no matter what you loaned for it. Once you are no longer dead, she will give you a ticket, which later you will be able to exchange for the item, or at any time you may look at the ticket and remember the item. Remembering the item is free. You are leaving the story now. You are only an example, and it is probably safer for you not to be in the story anyway. Isn't that so cool? I think that sold me. I thought that was such an interesting take on storytelling, and yeah, it just sounds really different. Now I'm going to dash over and get my Kindle and hope that it is charged. I've had it on the charger for an hour and it still is not charged enough to turn on. So we're gonna do this on my phone. So I bought Midnight Lily by Mia Sheridan. This is so sad and small, I'm sorry. I bought that actually a little while back, but I don't think I had mentioned it to you guys, so letting you know I did purchase that. I'm actually not even going to show you the pictures because at this point they're so small. I bought Weightless by Candy Steiner. And then as I quickly go and look up a summary for that for you guys, I'm also mentioning that I bought It Ends With Us. I bought it in digital copy and in physical copy because I love supporting Colleen. Maybe it's pronounced Steiner, not Steiner. I don't know. Alright, here it goes. I remember Mary sent me this and I loved the description and she knew I would, and that's what made me buy it. Alright, here it goes. I remember the lights. I remember I wanted to photograph them, the way the red and blue splashed across the cold, emotionless face. Oh, across his cold, emotionless face. I remember the lights. I remember I wanted to photograph them, the way the red and blue splashed across his cold, emotionless face. But I knew even if my feet could move from the place where they had cemented themselves to the ground and I could run for my camera, I wouldn't be able to capture that moment. I had trusted him. I had loved him. And even though my body had changed that summer, he made sure to help me hold on to who I was inside, regardless of how the exterior altered. But then everything changed. He stole my innocence. He scarred my heart and took everything I thought I knew about life and fast-pitched it out the window, shattering the glass that held my world together in the process. I remember the lights, the passionate, desperate, hot strikes of red, the harsh, cruel, icy bolts of blue. They symbolized everything I endured that summer and everything I would never face again. Isn't that so fucking beautiful? I had to buy that. I had to. But that is about all. I bought a lot of books, I feel like. I'm not even mentioning the books I had to buy for school. And yeah, if you like this makeup look, I wear my glasses so you can't really see my eyeshadow or anything, but I filmed a Let's Chat on it and I did my makeup while doing it, and so you can see all the products that I use there to achieve everything. The lipstick I'm wearing is Vampira by Kat Von D. Also, just so you know, because I usually get questions on my lipstick. I'm trying to start putting what I'm wearing on my lips in the description. Anyway, beside the point, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later. Bye.